Hey, I'm Brianna. I'm the head honcho here at Bamby Media. This video you're about to watch is actually part of a larger Descript course that I've put together just for you. If you're a podcaster or a video creator, someone that wants to put a bunch of stuff on YouTube, you are creating courses, you are doing an audiobook, there's so many ways that you could potentially use all the information that I've put together in this course. So this video is a little snapshot as to what you would find inside. If it feels interesting to you, then you should click on the link and there'll be more information in the description below. It'll take you there. But if all you need right now is actually just this video, then that's also fine. No hard feelings from my end. I hope you enjoy the content and that it's really helpful for you. Descript has new AI features. They may not be new by the time you watch this particular video, but we're going to go through them today. So down the bottom of your kind of area here, you can see there's an Underlord. Okay, if you click on that, this is your AI co-editor. I'm going to go through it with an audio only project at the moment. I will do another video with a video project because the prompts and things that you use here will be vastly different if it's a video versus an audio session. Underlord, as it mentions there, you can really ask it to do anything. So in this case, it becomes like your servant. So you can go and you can type in, like, let's say you want this to become a podcast episode, okay? And you want it to make it more succinct. So the better your prompt is, the better you will get as a result from the tool. At the time of recording this is still in beta mode for good reason, because it just fails all the time. This is not a tool that I think is greatly useful, and in fact I think that the AI tools that they have up here are more useful at this point because you don't have to think of the prompt. It's kind of got a prompt built in underneath it, whereas this one you kind of have to think of the prompt. If I click down here and I say edit this episode so that it is succinct and engaging for podcast platforms, remove retakes and filler words that are easy to remove. I don't want you to completely remove all the filler words though, because that can sound unnatural. A clean and simple edit is required here, keeping all the key points intact and conversational. Okay, so now you hit this little blue button and it is going to give you its plan. And if you click on this, you can see the plan. Okay, and it's telling you there what it's doing now. I will now perform a clean and simple edit of your episode, focusing on removing retakes and only the most easily removable filler words while keeping the conversation natural and key points intact. Then it takes its time thinking and starting to edit, and you can see that it's starting to do it. Now, what I do like is that it doesn't remove it completely so that you can't see it anymore. Like, it just does a strike through. So it's edited it out, but you can, with the click of a button, actually put it back in by going restore. Okay. Once it's done, it says your episode has been edited for a succinct and engaging podcast experience. Here's what I did. Removed all retakes, blah, blah, blah. Removed easily removable filler words. Preserved all key points and kept the edit clean and simple. Okay. So then you can see here, as it's gone along, okay. And when I look at the transcript, it's done a pretty good job of like, yeah, okay, I would remove these things as well. This is kind of what your first draft now becomes. Now you would then go through and listen to it. I didn't say just. Influencing is still a job. But all of this there here. So I said, and it's kind of got still some of it in there. Yeah. Is still a job. But all of this, and so to actually remove that properly would mean that I would have to be way tighter, or I would probably just leave it in. Still a job. But all of this, and so also because of the way this breath is, it's pretty unnatural for me to remove the R. It doesn't sound right. Still a job. But all of this, I would probably either remove the R and the breath, or get rid of this like this. It's still a job, but all of this see, now that's too quick. So we then go, okay, well, what are we doing here? Let's go back to what it did, and we're going to just click on that and go restore. So now it's not done anything. Still a job, but all of this requires, And it's still done something with the but. But all of this requires that's as good as I'm going to get there. So you then just go through and start editing. So if we do another one over here, for them, okay, a couple of those things are videos. And I would probably remove the okay because the breath is long there. Things for them. A couple of those things are videos. That would be better, okay? So, and what I wanted, it didn't remove that, but it really should have. So now I'm going to just tighten all of that up. These are videos. Finding good music for those videos can be videos. Finding good music, that's where it needs to sit there. So you can see there that it's done some of it, but it hasn't done all of it. So even though it can speed up your process by removing some things, it is not a one and done situation. It is still very much a rudimentary tool that I found can be helpful. Sometimes it can make it worse if you're new to editing because you don't know how to undo the fixes that it did. And sometimes I would recommend actually just getting to know the tools without the AI implementation first so that you're really across what it is that it can help you do first and know when it's wrong. Same way as if you're working in a business or if like you're the business owner and you're wanting to hire someone to do a job, it can be, especially if you're like a small business, it can be very good for you to learn the ropes first so that when you get someone else to do the thing, you know when they're doing the wrong thing. AI is absolutely working in the same way here with these tools. So just to be wary, I think, is the main thing here. But from an audio editing perspective, that's really all I would use the AI Underlord for. You can get it to do other things after that, like add intro and outro, like it's saying here. If you'd like to make it even tighter, add an intro, outro, or enhance any specific sections, just let me know. So if you just put in the tool, yes, I'd like you to add an intro in at the beginning. See what it says. It might be like, I'm just going to pick some music or whatever. If you're not specific, it may come out with some things that you're like, why the hell did you do that? So you can see what it's done here on its own when it says, yeah, I can add an intro. It's actually just created this intro and it's using my own AI voice to say this intro. And that is absolutely not something that I want at the beginning of my episode. So if you're not specific and you just say, hey, yeah, just add an intro, it's going to do whatever the hell it wants. And that can be problematic. Let's let this play out and we'll see how it actually sounds.
Welcome to the show. I'm Brianna, and in today's episode, we'll be diving into AudioSocket, a comprehensive music licensing platform.
Oh my God, that's so terribly bad. What the actual hell? That's so funny and awful. No, there is no possible way I would ever in my friggin' ever use that. So delete that right now. So you can see, like, okay, why... That hasn't worked. So I'm not going to do that. What you could do to be more specific is say, please add in the pump up your pod intro layout to the beginning. Now, this is actually going to be a little bit more advanced, this step with the AI tool. If it gets it right, that will be, amazing. But I have never seen it work. So I have layouts, which again, we will get into in a different video. I have templates and layouts that are for every client that we have here at Bamby Media. They have their own templates, includes their theme music, their like caption styles, the fonts, the colors, all this stuff within layouts. And, ideally what we want Descript to be able to do is say, okay, we're going to use that layout, that template that you've created, and we're going to put it where you want it to be put. I have never had this work ever. And so it is something that if it worked, it would be amazing. And you can see here it's saying, try again in a sec. It's us, not you. And it's actually not giving me what I need out of that. And it's giving me some details as to why. querying the available layout pack, switching layout pack, and then aborted. And that's as far as it's taken that. So that's not really helpful at all. To show you what I actually mean here, I would have to actually change this to a video composition and then go up here and grab, this is the layout pack. So it got as far as actually finding the layout pack, but then it couldn't actually add the intro in. This is the intro that I wanted it to use. And so that's the actual music that I wanted for it to actually use. It didn't do that step. It found the layout pack, but it couldn't actually do anything further with it. It's something more that they would have to work on there, but as far as how I would use it and how a podcaster would use it, that's the kind of stuff we would want it to actually be able to do, is use the layouts that we've created, the templates, and put them in to the episodes that we're working in. And it's the same with video. I've had the same problem with video. It has been of no real help there. So as far as how I've used the Underlord so far, and kind of my first thoughts on it is that it can be a good feature to speed up potentially the process of editing things that are easy for it to edit out, stuff that is blaringly obvious. But anything more than that, I found it to be more time consuming to fix the issues that has actually been created from the tool itself. So as for right now, try it out. Think of some prompts. Think of some things that you might want to do with your audio. One of the things that you could do, and again, this is in AI tools as well, but if you go into Underlord and you say, please pick out 3 snippets from this episode. Okay, so this is a situation where Underlord might be able to help you repurpose some of your content. So I put a prompt in there, please pick out 3 snippets from this episode that would work well as audiograms for social media. They should highlight the key topic of this episode, which is about AudioSocket and how it works as a service. So this episode is a review of AudioSocket that I have done, which is a music library. AudioSocket's a great music library, and I did an episode on it. It has now decided, and this is something that I think they've actually put some work into, is like actually pulling out and repurposing things. But again, when I say that, they're not always very good. So if we go here, how AudioSocket works for content creators, that's 55 seconds. And if you click on it, it shows you that it's now in another area. And this is the snippet itself. What I want to say is that there are music libraries that you can use now, and you've probably heard of a couple. That could be one, okay? Like it starts at a good point there. See, so it's kind of pulled something out, but there's still significant work in that. And then also listening to it, I'm like, okay, is that a valuable snippet? Is someone going to stop and click on that? I don't know, maybe. But again, anything like this, so now it's given you like the audio to work with. You then need to create a snippet out of the audio that it's given you, which we will go into in another video. I just wanted to showcase to you now the potential use cases, especially for podcasters right now for the AI Underlord. As I said, it's not the greatest tool. I don't think it's that useful yet. I like where it's going, but there is quite a significant amount of work to be done before I would actually build this into my flow. Definitely try it out, but as I did mention, I would get proficient with the tools first so that you know when it's doing the wrong thing, and then you also know how to troubleshoot and fix it, because relying on it completely won't really get you anywhere very fast.